All right, welcome to SFL On Air. We had a very good episode with the game. A lot of people seem to like the Thomas Jefferson game, so I thought we were going to do another game. Are you ready, Ali?
Yes.
All right, and maybe you can make a game for me sometime, but right now we're going to play a game called Strange Beliefs of Liberty. And I'm going to true or false questions. I'm going to say something about libertarian or liberty-esque person, and you have to tell me whether it is true or whether it is false. And we're going bowling later, and I thought if you get 7 out of 10 correct, then I'll pay for bowling. And if you do not get 7 out of 10 correct, you have to pay half with me, because I already told you that I would pay for bowling. So you have to pay half if you lose the game.
All right, yeah, I'm ready. Sure, let's start the game. What, you'll pay for bowling?
If you get 7 out of 10.
Okay.
All right, you ready? All right, the first one's an easy one. George Washington did not believe in parties. True or false?
True.
That's correct. George Washington did not believe in parties. All right, so the second one. Austrian economist Friedrich Hayek supported a universal basic income. True or false?
The name sounds familiar.
You know Hayek. I think you.
Yeah, the name definitely sounds familiar. From one of my economics classes. I'm gonna say true.
That is true. He did support a universal basic income. You're 2 for 2. All right. Number 3. Thomas Jefferson believed in a universal education system.
I'll say true.
That is also true. I did 3 true in a row. I was trying to get you off. Or maybe I have 5 true in a row. You don't know. Yes, 3 for 3. All right. Number 4. Austrian economist Milton Friedman was against gay rights.
Dang, that's tough. Because I feel like there's something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna say false.
You're correct. He did not believe in marriage from the state, but he said, and I quote, "I am against discrimination of those who classify themselves as gay."
That was just a guess, but yeah, it was
That was correct.
on a
All
roll.
right. We're on number 5 now. Austrian economist Ludwig von Mises dropped out of college and switched schools mid-semester because he found out that one of his teachers was a socialist. True or false?
Okay, you're gonna have to repeat that question.
Austrian economist Ludwig von Mises dropped out of college and switched schools mid-semester after finding out one of his teachers was a socialist.
I'll say false.
That's correct. That is false. That would have been funny if it was true, though. Sounds like something he would do. All right. Number 6. Benjamin Franklin was known not to take things very seriously. As a result, he was forbidden to write the Declaration of Independence because everyone thought that he would slip a joke into the document.
Man, that's tough.
True or false?
I have no idea. Oh my god. I'm just staring at your wall right now trying to think if I've ever heard anything like that before.
Is that something I would make up, or is that something that sounds true?
It sounds kind of true, but you know what? It sounds real enough to be true. I'm gonna say it's false though.
Oh, you're wrong. It's true.
No way.
They did not want Benjamin Franklin to write the Declaration of Independence. Many of the founders, because they thought for sure that he was going to slip jokes into the document.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
Isn't it? All right, so on to the next question, which is number 7. I think we're on number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Johnson has $100,000 in overdue library fines. True or false?
I think I've heard this before. I want to say true.
I tricked you. That one's false. Also, it's actually George
Oh,
Washington that
George
has
Washington.
$300,000 in overdue library fines. I mean, maybe it would. Maybe Gary Johnson does have $100,000 in overdue library fines, but I didn't know that. So that would have been like a really lucky guess. But no, that's false. So you have two wrong.
Sounds like Gary though.
Sounds like something Gary would do. Like Gary Johnson, you have like 100. You have like 500 books on Aleppo that are overdue.
Gary Johnson's like such a free spirit. I would think that he would have like overdue library books, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm actually I know I'm wrong. But anyways, next question.
All right. Economist Murray Rothbard had a lot of conflict with Ayn Rand. True
Uh,
or false?
um, Actually, I'll say true to that.
That is true. In 1954, Rothbard, along with several other attendees of a Mises seminar, joined the circle of novelists, and he parted from her, writing, among other things, that her ideas were not original and too similar to the likes of Aristotle, Thomas Aquinas, and Herbert Spencer. But then in 1958, after the publication of Atlas Shrugged, Rothbard wrote a fan letter and said that it was one of the greatest books he's ever written ever, and perhaps the greatest novel ever written. And then later again, he wrote again that he did not believe in her beliefs. So back and forth conflicts with Ayn Rand. All right. So you have two wrong, and we're on question number 9.
I'm on a roll, baby. Let's go. Bring it to me.
And I think if you get one of these two right, you win the game.
I'm ready.
Or maybe you already have 7 correct. All right. Number 9. John Adams had a dog named Satan. True or false?
I'll say true.
That is true.
Oh
John
my
Adams had a
God,
dog named Satan.
What a lucky
Wow.
guess, dude.
I thought that was going to be hard. All right, so I'm paying for bowling, and then this one's just for.
It's the $1 million question, man.
This is a $1 million question. Number 10. As a teenager, Ron Paul suffered from a heroin addiction.
I don't know enough about Ron to that extent. I know his policies, but I don't remember hearing him speak that much. I'll say true.
It's false. Ron Paul
Oh.
did not suffer from a heroin addiction. I thought
I thought it was a trick question, so that's why I went
thought
with true.
you would think logically, like if you suffer from a heroin addiction, wouldn't that be like one of the things that Mitt Romney and everyone brought up every time he mentioned legalizing drugs? Like you suffered from a heroin addiction. Like you think you know that?
Yeah, I don't hear him speak enough, so
That's
it's
all
just
I do is hear Ron speak.
yeah. I mean, I just thought you were throwing me a trick question.
No, I wasn't. So I think you got 7 out of 10 on that. And I just did a quick little game. And now I have some beef with the world that I need to let out.
What?
Because I was told on SFL on air that I wasn't giving my opinion enough. And I was just talking. I wasn't giving any feeling into what I was saying. So now I have something that I'm very passionate about. And it's beef with the entire world, mostly just the United States. All right? But this is what I'm going to say. If you want to fix the world, if you want to change the world and make it a better place, what you need to do is be selfish. And what I mean by that is you need to find something that you love and you need to pursue it in good nature. So, for example, I have a lot of friends that aren't libertarians that hate politics. They hate the idea of politics, but they're good people. And one of those friends is pursuing fashion. She likes fashion. And she recently found this website she likes sewing things and making things. And she recently found this website that makes fabric out of recycled water bottles. All the fabrics are made from recycled water bottles, and recycled plastics in general, but mostly water bottles. And if she started a movement where she got people to send more water bottles to the company, she only used those types of fabrics. She's doing what she loves, okay, fashion, and making the world a better place in the process. And people need to do that. You need to find something you love, find something you're very passionate about, and pursue it in good nature and change the world, okay? Imagine if every single person started making fabrics, celebrities that are good natured celebrities that make clothing started using these types of fabrics, used recycled fabrics. We could make the whole recycle movement a lot bigger, fix things, and the government doesn't do that. Voting politicians into office to do it doesn't work. And I don't like the idea of politics. I say I'm a libertarian. I don't like libertarian politically. I like it as a philosophy. And I think people need to stop arguing about politics, stop arguing about things, and go and just live their lives and do what they want to do and pursue it in good nature to make the world a better place. Am I fair at saying that?
Yeah, I think if everybody has the same mindset of doing what you want, of just if everybody had liberty-based principles as their philosophy, you will see a freer market as far as the economy goes. We'll see a freer market of ideas, and so I know what you're going with. I understand.
But I'm not entirely sure that people need to be liberty minded. It does help. But my friend knows almost nothing about libertarianism aside from when I rant. But she got very passionate about this movement of recycled fabrics. She got very excited about it. And I don't hear her rant that much, but she was ranting about this. Like, oh, this is so cool. They're a non-profit organization that makes things out of recycled, and then they became into a legitimate company and organization that was for profit. And she started talking about it. And what if everyone just did that? What if everyone just ignored politics and just did things out of the goodness of their heart and was passionate about it?
Yeah, I think that's good. The fact that whenever you make your business or your living off of doing good for the world, you're always gonna get a bigger buzz. You're gonna have more people who are interested in your service or your product as an entrepreneur, and that's you're seeing a lot of that. You'll see a lot of businesses. They will donate their part of their earnings to charities, which is a good thing. I personally, like, if I was a business owner, at the time I'm not, but like if I was a business owner, I would I don't like the fact that I have to advertise charities to get more sales, because in the end I don't want that to be a part of my business, but that's how I view it. But I don't shame an entrepreneur or a business for wanting to do something good, but I don't like to advertise. Me personally, I just don't like to advertise what I'm doing as far as charity goes.
Well, what would your business be if you had a business?
No, like if I had a business, it would be I don't know. Really, off the top of my head, I've had a lot of business ideas. Like, if I could, I'd
Name
want
one
a
of them.
podcast for the rest of my life. That'd be a
Okay,
business.
podcast. Well,
And it's
spreading ideas of liberty, you're helping the world become a better place.
yeah.
Like, I don't think you necessarily need to be a charity. You just need to be. I think innovative ideas can help the world. Being innovative, like for example, if you had a gas company and you started creating filters that filtered your carbon emissions, and you told everyone, we have these filters that filters our carbon emissions, buy gas from this place because we filter our carbon emissions, and everybody just started doing that. Like, you can be a business owner and whatever area you are, and you don't have to organize charities, but you can just be innovative and come up with ideas that help do whatever you want to do. You don't need a politician in office doing it.
Yeah, I no, I agree. That's just how the market works. That's but I do agree. I don't think people I think a lot of people want to do good, and if that's the way they want to do good in the world is then, good for them.
So if you're listening to this and you're going into politics, don't go into politics. Go find your passion, do something you love. And if your love is politics, then do politics. But if it's not and you just want to make a difference in the world, find start an organization, start a nonprofit, go do something and change the world that way because it's proven to work.
I agree with that. I agree with that so much, but I don't agree with the point that people should just start a business or do like start a career but give up the job that's helping them survive and feed themselves and stuff like that. It's a delicate balance, I think.
Well, what I meant was go into something that you're passionate about.
Yeah,
So you could
follow
be
your
working
passion,
for
yeah.
someone. You can be working for someone. You don't have to be the CEO. You can just be a regular employee. It doesn't. You don't have to start the business. You could work for a business. For example, us working for Students for Liberty or the Koch Institute.
Yeah, I agree. Like, if as long as you're doing something that you feel like makes you happy or gives you purpose, do it. And it's just an extra bonus that you can make a living off of doing that. And of course, like, go at it. You should always try 100% with. You should always try to reach your goal, at least once. And if it doesn't work out, then there's always other avenues. But yeah, I know what you're going with.
Of course, you do have to make an active decision to do things well and do things out of goodwill. You have to think, okay, what can I do innovative in this company that would help the environment or that would help society or would help people? You have to make that conscious decision.
If I could, I would just travel around and Instagram my life and then just take photos. And if I could do that for the rest of my life, I would. Just taking photos of nature, taking photos of just the different people that I would meet along the way. Like, if I could travel for the rest of my life and make money that way, that's always a great way to make money because just for me personally, that's how I would feel fulfilled. But I do feel fulfilled in a lot of ways because I never, like, even though I have hobbies, I know that I can always later on in the future turn my hobbies into a profession. There's always that possibility.
But my main beef is just with politics in general. Because politics is just, you have to make enemies. You have to make enemies in order to be successful in politics. There has to be people that you are ideologically opposed to and that you ideologically oppose. And it creates conflict and it creates problems. But if there was a solution without that conflict, why not take that route? Why not take the solution without the conflict rather than taking the solution of force and the solution of conflict?
Yeah, like having the discussion of politics all the time can be, especially with people that, like, you can ruin relationships with the discussion of politics. I don't mean like close relationships. I'm talking about like relationships with friends. Like if you're, in the end, you're going to develop relationships and develop all these kind of relationships and friendships with people that you are similar with in a lot of ways, like politically. What are your values? Things like that. That stuff kind of matters. There's a time and place for politics. You don't want to always bring up politics wherever you go.
Well, let's say I have a nonprofit organization that uses, let me think, uses some sort of recycled material to create some other material. I'm being
like
very
you're
vague.
using like recycled material to make a new product that you're trying to
Okay,
sell.
like the clothes thing. let's say I create a business, but it's creating things that I um,
Like socks
like
or
socks, because I love socks, or ties. Let's say
yeah,
it's creating ties. And then I talk to people, and I'm like, hey, check out this business. We use recycled materials to create ties. Um, it's political. I'm what I'm doing is I'm using the free market to create a more environmental friendly place, and I'm not using the government to do it. So that's political, but it doesn't cause that political beef with people. They're just like, oh, cool, you make ties out of recycled material. That doesn't sound threatening. But when I start talking about, hey, I think the government should tax businesses for doing this and this and this and this, that's threatening. That's conflict. That's power. That's statism. And I can talk about, hey, we should not do this. We should let the free market fix things all I want. But people like examples. So give them examples. Become the free market. Use the free market to our advantage as libertarians. I think there's a lot of libertarians that want to be involved in the Libertarian Party, but they don't know how because they're not the type of people that want to talk about politics all the time. But I'm telling them they can do this by getting into organizations that support their political beliefs and fixing it through the free market.
yeah. Actually, that's basically what I was going to say. I didn't. You just put it the way I was gonna put it too. As long as you're following your passion, and it's also like you want to help people along the way while you're following your passion, that's good. It all depends how what you feel. I don't ever think that entrepreneurs or um business owners should have to be that charitable all the time. I think if more people were charitable, like you were saying, um, then if more people were charitable, they would the world would be a better place. The less wealthy would be given a chance to strive more.
I'm not exactly talking about charity though.
Is recycling not charity to the environment?
Okay, I guess
No,
that's
I know what you're saying though.
I'm talking about innovative solutions because if you think about it, the things that are charity, so to speak, are things that are more efficient. Okay, it would be more efficient if we didn't have to use gas. Um, so innovation is how you solve the poverty problem. I mean, I was someone was talking about how, for all intent and purposes, the average homeless person today is more rich and more well off than Rockefeller. Because Rockefeller didn't have access to going inside a store and having warmth and electricity. He didn't have access to a cell phone. He didn't have access to things like that. So the average person on the street right now is more wealthy, and you can make tons of money just off your cell phone. It's just people don't have the knowledge to do so, and people don't have people don't have the knowledge to do so, and they also look at things from a comparative advantage.
Yeah, it's easier to advertise yourself now with the internet than ever before. Like you could advertise your business so easily just with your phone.
And
Um,
people like homeless people. If you're a homeless person with a skill and you just record yourself, people like that.
yeah,
Remember the golden voice guy?
yeah, like that guy, he became famous again
Yes, and
after.
then he got addicted to drugs again.
Yeah, it's sad. It's a sad story, but at least you get your story out there. Like people find out about you through your handheld device. As long as you're documenting your life, people will be interested, I think. Like almost anybody's life can be interesting if you're constantly documenting it. Yeah, of course, we're better off now than we ever were. I wouldn't want to live in an earlier time ever. Like we are constantly progressing our society more and more. Even the people who are in the lowest of our class systems are doing better for themselves than ever before. It's so much easier to get government assistance or just assistance from charitable people. Um, that in the end there is benefits to that. Like yes, it's government interference. It's not it's not the libertarian way. Um, but it's it's just way better than it was 100 years ago.
Yeah, I think government assistance. We need more. I think we need more government assistance, but we need more government. If we're already going to have government assistance, let's do it right. And I think we need more government assistance in terms of teaching people how to make money instead of giving them money. More educational programs, because money is just a tool. You need to know how to make money in order for it to work. You need to understand the light bulb needs to click. Oh, this is how I make money, and this is how I make money for the rest of my life. Giving people money doesn't really help them because they can't make it. So I think people need to be more knowledgeable. For example, I've made $3,000 just learning how to do stocks, and it's one of the easiest things. Not the easiest things. It's just it was crazy. Like, oh, I just made money. That's weird. Like, I didn't think making money would be this simple. But if everyone knew how to use the stock market, then the stock market wouldn't work. That's another thing.
Schools don't really teach you like stuff you need to know about living. Like, oh, this is how you do your taxes. This is how you um pay your bills. This is how you do all this stuff, and they never teach you it. They never teach you how you should be at at a job interview, or how you should go about to starting your own business, or how you should even find your own passion. They don't even
Yes.
help you do that stuff.
Once they start doing that stuff, then you're going to see government aid decrease. Right now, we have a system where the more money we give through welfare, the more people, the increase in welfare, and we shouldn't see that. We should see a decrease, but we don't. We see an increase, so that means something is wrong, because it means we're having more people need help. We should be putting money into these programs and then seeing less people need help.
Yeah, that's true because of because we live in a welfare state, people will end up abusing whatever money they can get their hands on from the state. And the problem with granted, it does actually help people. There is that, there's pros and cons to both ways of looking at it. But if we can get to a point where, you know, we can enable people to be prepared to be in the workforce, that's better for everybody. We need people in the workforce more, not people sucking off the teat of the state. And that is a problem. Now, if you're talking about like universal basic income, that's a completely different conversation. But if you're just talking about welfare in general, that is a problem because people will jump through hoops or try to make excuses for why they need money.
Yeah, I think
Um,
people with a universal basic income, if we do start to do that, it's just the happiness factor will be gone. Like they won't be happy. I don't know. I wouldn't if I received money for not doing work. I don't think I would feel fulfilled. Like winning the lottery.
yeah, we're just sucking the money out of the state any way we can, just as a society, whether it be through school, like public schooling, um, or welfare. I mean, any government program you can think of, the people will try to abuse it. Um, I know it's a controversial conversation. I think we should have brought that up earlier. I mean, not to most of our listeners. Most of our listeners are pretty open-minded. But yeah, people, there's still this. It's still a taboo conversation among people who are more liberal. They think they don't. They couldn't imagine a world without the state providing money to the less fortunate and stuff like that. If everybody got the same amount of money, then we wouldn't have. Then that wouldn't be a problem. But that's not how it's working right now. It's not like a universal basic income where everybody it has that income available to them if they need it. It's only to certain people. Uh,
My qualms with it are simply off of um, a happiness factor, a Maslow's hierarchy of needs type of qualm, where I think this whole system isn't designed to help people be happy. I think we need a system that's more a, applicable to enabling individual pursuits instead of just giving people things, because I think that takes away this system in our brain that tells us good job, and I think that leads to depression and anxiety, and I don't think it's healthy. I think it would be better if people knew how to farm for themselves. And that doesn't mean that everyone should just start doing that and we should get rid of um, welfare, but it does mean that we should start looking at things from more of a psychological perspective and work towards it slowly. All right, so that's going to be all for today. SFL on air. Tweet at us at SFL on air, and we're also on Facebook. And answer the question with the hashtag SFL on air. Do you support a basic income? Yes or no? Yes or no, do you support a basic income and why? And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.